Hello guys, now I am going to talk about religion by itself. Right, let's analyze this thing about religion. Yeah? This video is, I decided to talk about religion and witchcraft, spirituality, and just to let you know how things work. Basically, this is part of the law of attraction. Now, there are a lot of knowledge, there are a lot of books about the law of attraction out there. And oh, surprise, they don't work. Because people didn't really understood how the law of attraction works. And what are the laws and things behind that. Yeah, you visualize something and imagine it happening, and guess what? It won't happen. And then they say, oh yeah, it's because of your fears. You have fears of this. Yeah, I mean, those things are partially true, but I am going to talk a little bit more about that. At the end of the day, everything you know about the topic just enriches your enrich your knowledge about a topic. And when you apply things, of course, you see by doing and effects that you have why things happening. But in my case, it is I think it's important to know different angles anyway, in order to make have a clearer picture. There is this example of the three blind yogis. You know, yogis, the ones who practice yoga. They were blind and they were placed in front of an elephant. And they were asked to approach or to walk a meter and get closer to what they were presenting before and tell what was the object in front of them. So one of them reached the trunk of the elephant and said, well, this is a pipe. I am in front of a pipe. The other one touched the middle of the elephant and said, I am in front of a wall. The other one touched the tail of the elephant and said, I am in front of a rope. And why yogis have to be in this example? Because they are supposed to be illuminated people, honest people, and whatever. So they were asked for this example, and yeah, that's the story. So they were not lying. They were very honest. But they were saying only the part of the truth that they were exposed to. They didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have the sight. They couldn't see what was the thing. But just judging by what they were touching, they were able to say something. And this is exactly what's happening in the law of attraction. Each person tries they get their own version of the law of attraction. Some things that it work for them, but they cannot see the whole truth. If we want to talk about the whole truth as a self, we have to begin answering the simple question, or understanding what's the oldest question in the world maybe, and that is, who's God? Where is God? What is God? Right. I used to be a priest for this awesome religion, and I am not anymore. You know, something very interesting when you are so deep into a religion and then you free yourself from it. The fascinating thing is that all the things that you attributed to God, to the religion, it was only you. And some things that you cannot understand sometimes at that moment, and you think, oh my God, it has to be you. God, it is you. And even some things that you can perceive as miracles, it's all about you. I am going to expand more of that on that topic, but let's go a bit deeper. So what I found as a priest is that there is no God. Let me explain you. Of course, it's a shock if you're a religious person, or if you want to become a witch, or you want to become a whatever, a spiritualist or a pagans or whatever. You know, because if you want to be part of a church, even if it's a white or a black church, you have to start from the point that there is some bigger entity out there, right? You need to base your faith in something, but I am going to explain you a bit more in a minute. So God, it's not there. So God basically, he was about to disappear. Yeah, let's imagine there was a God. There was this energy, this ball of energy, or this creature, humongous, of course. He was about to disappear. And why? Why was he about to disappear? Just imagine, that he was already perfect, and that was going to remain like that for the eternity. There's no more purpose of going anywhere else. He already was, or she, or it. This energy was perfect. The perfection of perfections, if there is such a thing. But there is no purpose in an existence of something that cannot grow, cannot diminish, cannot go anywhere else. It's just what it is and will ever be. And so, if God, or one part of this God energy, is movement, so this movement has to have a purpose of its existence. Yeah? It cannot be just that something moves for the sake of moving. It's not like an atom. It's just on itself. But it has to be part of something bigger. And if you are, for example, on the top of your game, if you are on the top of your career, you cannot reach anywhere else. If you are rich as you can ever be, if you own the planet and you have every power, every control, every life, there is a point where you enjoy yourself, and then there is a point where it gets old, you know, and where else can you go? What else can you do? Many of our contemporary rock stars, famous people, whatever, they feel as if they reach that point, and they commit suicide because they don't find any more challenge in society. You know, they say like, oh yeah, I have already everything that I can do, and they try to experience with intensifying their emotions. Boom, overdoses of some crap, and they are gone. And we think, oh my God, what a waste. And it is indeed, but when it came to God, he basically committed divine suicide, if you want to say it somehow, or you want to see it in a more funny way. So what he did, or it did, as a God, as an energy, it needed to create a reason for its existence, a reason for being. And what it did, because it's also a she, what this thing did, it was basically explode. But not just an arbitrary explosion. It was a dissemination of all these particles. Imagine you are, I am God, and I don't find any more reason for my existence. I need to find an excuse to carry on alive. So what it did, if it was me, everything that makes my body, like all the cells and all the atoms and particles, will be disseminated all around the universe that exists, and its dissemination will start creating something else in its process. And of course the aim is to, at some point, go back together and to recreate myself after exploding, say, or releasing all the chemicals or all the atoms, all the particles that make me be me. The way to recreate it is to leave a set of rules or laws that will allow my particles in some point in eternity to put me together. So that's what God did. So he disappeared as an entity, as a one thing, and he disappeared into the whole creation. Basically, there's no one God. There's no one thing. Now, all the laws that he left as he was disseminated, it started, like there was this law of attraction, of polarities, positive, negative, neutrals. There was this all atoms, all of these particles, matter, antimatter, and all the things. And when they collapse to each other, they start making gravity and laws like that. Yeah. So then, what happened is that some people, some individuals, they tune with certain laws quicker than others, just because they have some, they're somehow special. Like, if you disseminate yourself right now, not all the cells of your body are the same. Your neurons are the higher cells. The eye cells are special, but not as the neurons. The recreational cells, the ones that make your procreation available, they are not the same as the cells in your toenails or in your digestive system, and so on. So there are different types of components of this gut. And some of the cells, of course, that they were in the brain, when they get somewhere else, they are going to be more special than the normal ones. And unfortunately, we have in one being, if we are at image of God, as religion says, or as the many books says, of religions, then if we were made as a resemblance of God, then most of our constitution are not as special as our brain. Of course, we need everything to function, but not. We have more parts that are less important than the commanders ones, the ones who rule the whole organism. I'm not disregarding the importance of any part of me. Of course, I am me thanks to I have everything that it should be there. But what I'm saying is that there are few key cells in my organism. So say Jesus, say Buddha, say all the prophets that there were in the world, they were special sort of parts of this energy, or got some condensation of this energy. Anyhow, so they started acknowledging certain things. Yeah, they started acknowledging that there were something else, and there are definitely astral projection and awakening of the chakras and magic sexuality, mental power, magic, of course. But so they were learning all of these things, and then they reached this point where they needed to share it. Why? It's not just pure love, that makes one of the things to share their lives, the knowledge, to the others. For one individual we are all made of energy, and for one individual to expand itself, we need more energy to attract more energy than the energy that we generate ourselves. One person by himself, one can attract from the universe certain amount of energy, but that's it. No more and no less than that. In order to have let's say life after life, you need more energy from people. And how you do this, you have to make others believe in yourself. And how you do this? You either share what you have and you make some group of believers, but all of this energy, mental energy, emotional energy, and whatever, and even kinetic energy, because some people, when they think they love you or they follow you so much, they are able to do anything for you, even give their own lives. And this happened even with the Beatles, with the Elvis, and these fanatic people, the followers, they thought they loved them so much they couldn't believe they were dead, or something happened to them. They even killed themselves just for the love of this, completely fanatized, like exactly what happens right now with, what happened in religion. And there are these people who blow themselves because they are able to embrace a cause or a leader above their own existence. And this happens with the Catholic Church as well. I mean, Catholicism, just to go there, impose themselves to the places where they were going. It was not just willingly that the other civilization accepted Catholicism. In Peru, the Spanish invaders, after the discovery of America, they gained the new lands, imposing Catholicism. In fact, the Inca, who was the emperor over there, was killed by the representatives of the Catholic Church over there. And when the indigenous saw that this new church were so powerful to kill the emperor, so they started questioning the religion that they have. The Spanish started destroying all the temples from the old religion, from the empire, and replacing these temples for churches in exactly the same locations. So worshippers who went over there all of a sudden found Catholic churches and Catholic representatives. And once the Spanish people enforced their beliefs among the population was very easy to be controlled later on. And in the name of the Catholicism, in the name of the new land, 7 million people, indigenous, were systematically killed along the coming years. But of course, people talk more about the Holocaust and how bad Hitler was, and how about the Nazis and all of that crap. And in the name of the religion, and the Catholicism was even more barbaric thing done for even longer periods of time. But of course, because that was a shame from the religion, and the Pope is still alive, and the Catholicism is still alive, and it was not done in a time when there was internet and everybody could judge openly the crimes committed against those indigenous. The world seems to forget about that crap, right? And there they are, some believers of the church. Anyway, so going back to the topic, so these people needed some more energy from others. Energy is basically what makes a rock star, right? How much they can transmit themselves, or project themselves, their images into some other people, and the other people gives them passion. They go to their concerts, they buy the albums, they believe in them, they have posters of them, they want to take pictures, they want to see them in interviews, and then this energy, they pumps them up, energetically speaking, and then the law of attraction attracts more things for them, because there is an energetic capital that is surrounding them, waiting for it to happen. This attraction of energy is key. If you are, for example, a normal individual going to a party, and then if you don't dress up, if you don't cut your hair, if you don't smell nice, if you don't use a bit of makeup, if you're a woman, if you don't look your best, then you are not going to attract enough attention, you are not going to attract enough energy to surround yourself. If you don't surround yourself first as much of energy that you can, And then if you do so, if you dress up and you surround your energy with positive energy, and you believe that you are dressed to kill, then you go out and then you get this attraction. And so that's why women love doing that, like they feel even more beautiful, they feel even prettier, sexiest, and whatever, because they dress up, they do this and that, and then what they receive in exchange is more energy. People believe in that. Men, we put our energy. We see a good-looking woman walking in the street, and we put some energy. One look enough to put some energy. We keep looking for 5 seconds because we are stunned. Then that's more energy, and they have this capital of energy. Sometimes you finish your day and you are like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted, and I cannot realize what I have been doing. But you were putting your conscience in different things, and this thing to attract energy, it works even for companies, products, cars. Like you put energy in Facebook, you put energy in the latest car model, in a dress, and the house where you wish to live, in the city where you live, in your country, and your representatives, and your faith, and your clothes, and yourself, and the whole day goes giving energy and receiving energy. But if you give more than what you receive, then you are always kind of undercharged, just existing, and then you start dissipating yourselves. As there's no energy, then energy is always movement. They cannot be created, they cannot be destroyed, but just transform, as we know for principles of science. Now, so that is one of the keys. So these people, these prophets, they knew that they needed to create some sort of awareness of themselves among others. So one way or another, they started saying what they knew. They started shouting it in the streets like Jesus. He was not like, he went to a church once, to a synagogue, and he was like beating the hell out of these merchants that were selling things in the church. And he was like, oh, in the house of my father. He was attracting attention. More people follow him. They say, oh my God, yeah, holy rage. But he was putting himself into this focus of attention, focus of attention all the time. Because it's all about feedback and all about gathering energy together. So when they do have enough energy together, they are more powerful. And in some point, if you accumulate enough power, enough energy around yourself, the consciousness that you have doesn't really disappear or vanishes. This is surrounded by more energy, and of course it's a bit of a process, but you can make yourself another body to exist after life, after this physical body, because this physical body is not forever. There are also text books that they say how you can immortalize your body with the philosophical stone. That is also possible. As far as my research have led me, I'm not saying that I am immortal. Please don't try it. I am not. I am not in that point yet. But it is possible in a logical way. So at the end of the day, what we are is energy. What is this magical force that keep all our things together is energy. You put a liver together, a heart together, the blood together, but there is no life. This life is a mystery that scientists cannot really know yet. It's a type of energy. But this type of energy that leaves the body, the organs and whatever when you die, or when the body gets broken, this energy doesn't just vanish. If you have enough reality, your consciousness will continue for longer. And there is this reincarnation and all sorts of things that are also possible. But all of that things, they have an explanation. And of course, I am more than happy to make some more videos about it. Let's see what the feedback is for this one. But there's a process to get there, and so it's all about getting the amount of energy that you need to do certain things. So when these prophets, they did what they did, I'm not saying that there are no angels. I'm not saying that there are no devils, if you want to call them somehow. But there is not one mega demon. Of course, there is not one god that is the god. There are many entities, many forces, many people that reach a very, very high level of energetic reality, and that consciousness, that energetic consciousness, still live. But they also need more people to keep believing in them. It's like I saw this movie, the Race of the Guardians, which I found that was amazing. It's a cartoon movie, but you know, if you watch there you understand later. But the characters, in order to exist, the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and whatever, they needed people to believe in them, to be more real. But that's an animation movie, but that's how, more or less, how it works, you know. So, but these gods, these people who went to that level, of course, they need to carry on somehow helping others, helping humanity, because we still feeding them with energy. So basically, not the God, because the God is disseminated; he doesn't need anything. But the other guys, they try to make people believe in them by helping them somehow, because it's convenient for them, for their in it. So God, in other words, need us. Also the devil, or devils, because there are many, they also need us, because if we don't believe in them, they don't exist. And actually, if we don't believe, they cannot hurt us, and they cannot help us, because it's a kind of a retribution. Like, you believe, you give them. That's what you receive. Some people call it faith. Some people call it miracles. But it's all about you. So you do things, and you can try to attribute them to other things or not. You can think like you hear voices. But it is all about you. And I am going to talk about more about how to tune these senses and how to get those the awakening things that you are hoping to have. But again, I will do it based on the feedback that I received for this video. Thank you for watching, and have a nice life. Cheers.